We're here with Seminole soccer head coach Mark Krikorian. Coach, always a pleasure to see you. Big win on Sunday coming up. Last time we talked to you, a tie on South Carolina, a win against Auburn on the road, a big win against Florida Gulf Coast, an upstart program last Sunday. How is the team progressing this year, and how's that offense going?
Well, I think that things are going pretty much as we expected them to. Still, we're relying on an awful lot of young players to play significant minutes and make big contributions, and fortunately for us, they've been doing that. When I looked at our group, the first 11 in the game the other day, there were, I think, 8 freshmen and sophomores in the first 11. So that's a pretty young team. Even though we do have some good leadership among some of our older players, it's still a relatively young team, and we're getting better every time out.
Now, we've seen some definite lineup changes this past Sunday with compensating for Becky Edwards leaving in November. We saw Marissa Caswell move over to the right side, Tori Huster and DeCosta in short, so on and so forth in the midfield. How are those new changes going, and how's it going to help your team throughout the rest of the season?
Well, we're still using a lot of this time to experiment for later in the year, and hoping that it won't hurt us in any fashion. Up to this point, it hasn't, but we're trying to get a feel for how we'll look come postseason time if we're fortunate enough to be around at that time. But I think that so far so good. Tori Huster we've put into the middle of the midfield and had a look at her, and I think she looked pretty good. So we're considering going forward with that another step here into the ACC play. And but I think overall the kids have done very well.
You're entering your ACC schedule after your non-conference schedule. Big game coming up against the Virginia Cavaliers on Thursday. Another game against the Virginia Tech Hokies on Sunday. What's it going to take to get that first win over Virginia here come Thursday night?
Well, Virginia's a good team. They're always good. They're organized. They play good soccer. They have an awful lot of very good players as well. So, it's going to be a battle. I mean, the last 2 years we've played Virginia in 2 ties, and we've been there battling and fighting. And last year when we went up there, we had to overcome some adversity with losing Wagenfuhr in the game before to an ACL and not having Van de Ven available to us. So I thought our kids showed a lot of character in that game last year. But this year it's here on our turf, and we'll be relatively full strength except Becky Edwards, of course. And it's an opportunity for us to go out and measure ourselves against a very good team.
With that ACC schedule coming up, what's the difference really between that non-conference schedule you guys play at the beginning of the year versus the ACC teams that you're going to see the rest of the season?
Well, I think that it's fairly well established and common knowledge that the ACC is the premier conference in the country. So there are no days where you can just kind of show up and go out and get yourself a result. And sometimes in non-conference play, maybe the quality of the opponent's not up to the same standard as an ACC team, but we look at every one of our opponents and give them the same respect and recognize that they're a collection of good players and good athletes that are out there fighting, trying to find a way to help their team win. And, we know with Virginia coming in here and then Virginia Tech on Sunday that we have 2 very worthy opponents coming in.
And finally, we definitely need a lot of fan support here come these next 2 games coming up. What do you want the fans to be excited about when they come out to see your team play, and how is your team going to respond from having such a good home crowd?
Well, the crowd has embraced our group over the course of the time that I've been here, and we really appreciate that. We think that we've developed a nice relationship with the community here in Tallahassee and the students here on campus as well, and we're just hoping it continues. We know that we'll be playing good soccer, and I think that the crowd appreciates the style of soccer we play, and we know Virginia will come in, they'll play good soccer, and Virginia Tech will come in and battle as can be as well. So I think that's kind of what we're looking for.
Coach, always great to see you. Thanks again, and best of luck this weekend.
You're welcome, young man.